Searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless. A sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it. And I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory. Yeah, don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring. I just want a life that is worth every day exploring.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right, Bristol Motor Speedway night number 2 after a wild night number 1 that saw a race end under caution because of Sim500 overtime. $1 million question, is tonight going to be just as wild? I know one thing. The unknown is a big factor this evening. Bristol Motor Speedway, it's round number 8 of this Sim500 NC811 Cup Series season as we welcome you to the world's, or the last great Coliseum, something like that, for 180 laps of racing in the usual Sim500 default weather on iRacing and more. Yes, we are kind of in a rush thanks to the baseball game running longer that you saw tonight. Ha 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 ha. Anyway, starting lineup's going to roll across the top. Kevin England joins me. Kevin, 2 pace laps here. Bristol, the unknown, in the next gen.
Yeah, looking forward to this race. It's going to be elbows up. That's the way this racetrack always races. And, you know, these guys got a little practice last night, and we'll see how that parlays into some advantage tonight, really. Just got to get yourself to the finish line at the end of this.
Yeah, Steve Ritter said it best. Yeah, Steve Ritter said it best. It's going to be good. I agree 100%. And that's why I hauled you-know-what home to make sure we were here for it, and we're ready to rock and roll. Congratulations to Derek Myers. He won the 811 Pole Award tonight. Derek, of course, came so close to winning last night. And we're going to be watching some things closely because I noticed he and Pedro Mojica had a long discussion after the race last night. And, of course, there was the contact that happened at the end of the race. And as you see on the screen, Pedro is starting right behind Derek Myers. But make sure you check out 811 and your state. Just dial 811. Call before you dig. 180 laps will make up the field tonight of 42 cars going to take the green flag with Derek Myers, Bentley Glazier on the front row. Here we go from Bristol.
Yeah, good jump still side by side as they roll through turn number 1 in the banking. You're always in the turn at this racetrack. That's what it feels like. And I'm not sure we're going to see whether the top line or the bottom line is the place to be.
I think top line's going to be the way to go. Bottom line to save your tires. Bentley Glazier leads lap number 1. And outside, that's Fuller in the 21 car. New number for Justin Fuller in the 811 paint scheme. And Mojica goes by for third. Notice a little bit of separation there on that pass. Here comes Doy Woods there with Glenn Campbell. Robert Frary, good starting spot for him. He's up there in 7th. Comstock, Kelly, and Arnold, your top 10. Caution. Joe Hudson has gone around on the back straightaway, it looks like. This is good. This allows us to set everything up as we normally would. Let's see what happened to Joe, who had a rough night last night too, and Bristol here not treating him well in the next-gen car. Now USAL number 15, he's low going into the corner. Oh, now he drifts up the track. Then he gets stalled, and Casey Donkin gets down into him. He was stuck 3 wide with Kevin DeBrown. Oh, and for the first time this weekend, SpongeBob gets hit. SpongeBob went totally clean pretty much last night. And he gets doored by Hudson there, so that's the first caution.
Yeah, it looks like the car just got a little bit of a fishtail, and when he checked up, everybody's on top of him. Things happen so quickly at this racetrack that you just can't avoid each other. You're on top of somebody just about every lap, and our winner from last week, Kevin DeBrown, got a little tag there, and that's going to bring us under caution number 1.
Caution 1 at lap number 4. Let me make sure I got this right. Yep, let's show you the race standing. A race tonight, 180 laps, 3 sets of tires, 100% fuel. And the previous winners in this race down there at the bottom, Bentley Glazier won this race on dirt last season. Donnie Leah in 2021, Daniel Falkingham 2020, Adam Gilliland in 2019, and Parker Klingerman, you might recognize that name, in 2018 won this race. So just like last night, we have 5 different winners in 5 starts. The difference is Justin Fuller won the first Xfinity or the Grand National race I can't talk yet. Give me a time, I'm warming up. In 2018, and he won that race last night, so he became the first 2-time winner. Parker Klingerman's not in the race tonight, so he can't do it either. So right now, it looks like actually Bentley Glazier would be the only one who could repeat. And look who's leading.
Right out front. That's a good place to be at this racetrack. You just want to set clean racetrack, keep your eye in the mirror every once in a while, and hammer down. I love being in front when you have the opportunity to pick and choose your lane. You could let the car ride in, go all the way up the banking, turn down, drive off, make the racetrack longer. It's definitely the best advantage you can have in this racetrack for being out front.
I tapped my mic and shut it off accidentally. Ruth and Jimmy watching on Facebook tonight. Appreciate you. Steve Ritter has mentioned Margaret Hathcock watching, saying good luck also. And Aaron Thomas apparently about a message on Twitter. I literally just walked into her. I haven't looked at Twitter at all today. And Atomic Radio over under 10 cautions tonight. I'm going to take the under. As we come to the green, I'll let you take the over. I'm giving you the win. Green flag back out.
Yeah. I think the drivers know it's early. They're just going to settle in. They're going to have a lot of situational awareness here as to where everybody else is. Really, it's probably just a fight of different braking points and picking and choosing your line coming up off the corner. But if you're down low, you'll stay low. If you're up high, you'll try to stay up high, looking forward out your windshield. And, you know, I think at this juncture of the race, no reason to press. It's just simple misjudgments that cause our early cautions. But I would expect we're going to have a little green flag stint here.
I would love that. The mistakes you'll mostly see. Caution out for the second time.
Oh,
poor Joe Hudson has brought out the second caution.
Oh no!
When it's not your night, it's not your night. Joe fighting a little loose race car on entry there, brings it off the corner here. Turn my speakers down. Goes into, and it just comes around on him. Noses down to the inside wall, and Joe said, forget this. I'd rather go watch the broadcast. At least that's what I hope he said. Terry and Susan Ritchie watching. A lot of family I noticed watching. Appreciate that.
That's nice. Yeah. Gotta love that.
But caution out for the second time here, and to go back to what we were saying here, most of the mistakes you're going to see is off the corner. That kind of situation there was just kind of going into the corner. When it's all said and done here. But there you go. There's the conveyor belt pretty much. As you see at this track, one of the disadvantages of 42 cars on the track is you restart a half straightaway behind or half the track behind already in a race at this track. So it's one of those, you got to get the track position and you got to go. That's what makes this track so interesting to race at. One of many.
I always wondered if you have that mindset, right? Do you try to charge? You certainly don't want to be the last car in that pack and look in the rearview mirror and see the leader coming. And then when they get by you, you're going to race even harder to try and remain in that lucky dog position. And, you know, but if you're in the middle of the pack, you can't worry about that. You got to just worry about what's in front of you and what's immediately behind you. It's complicated enough just to make laps at speed here, let alone trying to figure out how to navigate the traffic.
Well, I'll tell you exactly what I do when I run NIS. Well, last time I ran NIS here was the 500 lap race at Bristol in September. I actually finished second and came one lap car away from winning the race. Clown. The tire wear obviously plays a role. But you know, the one thing I did was I just kind of rode, and if I went a lap down, you know what? Chances are I'm coming back with the lucky dog.
No doubt.
Or going to get it with the 165 cautions you're going to have in that race until everybody wrecks out. and that's kind of how I played it. And by the end of the race, there I am leading with 100 to go. I led probably all but the last 20 laps because I went one stop all the way from the fuel run to the end. Another guy pitted about halfway and caught me on the tires, unfortunately. But that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Yeah, you're kind of never out of it until the end, right?
Right.
You can circulate your way through. You might hit the pit strategy. Look what happened in the Cup race this week. That was the strangest experience, and got to say that was so cool to see 811 sponsoring
the Xfinity race. Yeah,
Xfinity race. Yeah, I really enjoyed watching that event and seeing their sponsorship carry through. And congratulations to them to successful Martinsville show there they had there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't get me started on the Cup show. But anyways,
They didn't seem to be any passing, and then that last strategy thing flip-flopped the field, and well, strange results. So
when 36 slot cars run a race in Martinsville. So here we go, back to green at lap number 15. Glazers led them all, and once again, Derek Myers, like he did last night, struggling on the restarts in that inside lane. Yeah, I should mention real quickly, our camera is presented by TrackCams22.com. You can check them out online on Facebook and on the iRacing forums at TrackCams22.com. As you see, the cameras look pretty much like we're watching real life. Okay,
now, can I say they should settle
in?
No,
right here, go. Chad Coleman into the wall. No, they're not. You said it again. Right in front.
I don't understand. I'm going to just be quiet the rest of the broadcast. I'm not here.
He started to say it, and we were on board with Justin Mons as Chad Coleman got pinched into the wall with Glenn Campbell, and the caution comes out. That's the points leader, Chad Coleman, oh, by the way. Third caution is out.
Yeah, that was kind of odd there. As Glenn was in the middle of the track, and it just drifted up. It almost looked like he got stuck to him, and like you get stuck to the wall.
Here I am, stuck in the middle with you.
One of the things we know is that you could take a significant amount of damage with these cars, so I don't think either one of them are going to have a problem. They were cruising at the same speed when they got against the outside wall. They really didn't take any large hits other than ping-ponging off each other, so I think they'll probably be able to knock out a couple fenders and keep going.
A little bit of damage on Callan Tony and Josh Parker's car. They were running up in the top groove, and I'm okay with being wrong, Jason. Yeah, just the speed and the momentum of these cars carrying off the corner, it just pulled them right into the wreck there. So caution out for the third time. In fairness, I still got 7 more to go. And one of those, it looks like Chad comes off just a little shallow off too, which nothing wrong with that. And Campbell just come off the track there and they may hit each other. I mean, you could check it as much as possible, but unfortunately, with the speed you're carrying here, I mean, they're running 14.7s around here.
Yeah, Justin Fuller came off the corner and he was in the high side when everybody checked up, and then he just got boxed in and never could slow down to the point where he nicked in there. He just clipped the back of the car trying to get stopped.
Here's your point standings right on the screen. Thanks to Sim Racer Hub. Chad Coleman leads by 15 over Pedro Mojica entering this race. Mike Kelly is third. Tyler Dalton fourth. Richard Beasley your top 5. And as you know, the top 20 make the playoffs here. Justin Mons, he's the bubble boy right now by 6 over Callan Tony. Van Schaik, E.J. O'Rourke's down there. Rivera, Bob Gillenwater. That's a $1 in a jar. Jimmy Coleman, Brian Macklin, Tommy Ryan, Kevin Stone, Casey Duncan, your top 30 in the points. So that's where we sit as we enter round number 8 tonight of this thingamajiggy that we call a race.
We talk about every week, these guys have a lot of respect. A lot of them have raced each other week in and week out or whatever, but this type of racetrack sometimes can really set people straight. And they don't have E.J. O'Rourke to yell at this week. So.
Hey, in all fairness, this just to show respect to this track when it's all said and done. Tonight's one of those anomalies? Is that what the word would be here? where, look, you're going to see cautions, you're going to have wrecks. It's just the way it goes. Until the weird grinding of Charlotte Motor Speedway caused the record 22 cautions in a Coke 600 in 06, this track had the previous record for cautions in a cup race. That was 20.
I had my took us in the stands last year in the fall race at this racetrack, and when you go there in person, it's just astonishing to see how they get around here. You're watching the drivers in the back. They race as hard as anybody can. A 3 wide up off the corner there out of turn 4 is Josh Parker trying to go down underneath to pick up another position. Starting out back, he's got yeoman's work as he slid underneath Casey Duncan, and now he's fighting with Scott Stenzel out back. But that just illustrates the point: is no matter where you are, you're clawing, you're scrapping, you're fighting for every position you can get on a racetrack.
Yeah, just to kind of point out where these guys are. They're running laps at about 15.2. As you see, Parker just ran his fastest lap of the race. 15.2 around this half-mile track. Right now, Josh Parker is already 6 seconds nearly back from the leader. So you do 6, you do the math, 15 seconds. That's nearly half a track back already. As Derek Myers moves to second, getting around Justin Fuller. So the Home Depot number 39, kind of a throwback to Tony Stewart there in the 2000s. Running in the second position. The only difference is Tony didn't run a Ford. I mean, his team does now. And he did at the end, but he doesn't at that time. He was in the old Pontiac.
Correct.
Up, caution's back out. Tommy Ryan, Casey Duncan. Jeff Ryan's at center punch, Doug Roth.
Who I believe that Tommy Ryan got a little bit of a ding there. His car looks like it's hit pretty hard. Casey Duncan was down on the apron for some reason. Not sure what precipitated that. Just lost control coming up off the corner. Yeah, car broke loose.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Oh, boy. Casey Duncan went for a ride. I didn't see who the other green car was that clobbered him.
Wow, that was spectacular. His car
Junk?
absolutely destroyed. You could see all the parts and pieces flying off the car as it goes through. The drivers were talking about the new data model with all the debris that comes off the cars, and it's all over the racetrack, and you drive through it, and there was some commentary about it causing damage to the cars.
Well, it did some work on Duncan's car as he hit that wall a ton right there.
I was chatting with Casey just before the race. He was talking about how yesterday went. Did really well all the way through the event, only to find trouble late. And I said to him, the only thing that's worse is having trouble in the first opening laps. I'm just going to stop talking tonight.
He might agree with you here.
Yeah, I know. Oh, it's like the voodoo curse here or something. Maybe if I try and do like reverse psychology, we're going to crash every lap. The pace car is going to wreck half the field. Can I say that?
By the end, we might be left to go out there and hit the pace car when this thing's over with, unfortunately. But like, yeah, fourth caution here at lap 32, and to remember, this car does not have a lot of side force. Not a lot of, well, there's a lot of downforce in it, but the back end will come around on it. And when I show you this part right here, 122 degrees track temp. It's loose. It's hot. It's slickery. It's whatever else you want to call it.
Linoleum floor.
Yeah, with socks on. So Glazier's led them all. Myers now up to second. And don't see anybody coming to pit road here at all. Yeah, slickery. Aaron's never heard the word slickery before. It's so slick.
Slippery.
Slippery. Slickery.
Schlick. It's not Schlitz. It's Schlick. Then we'll want to see if we can keep an eye on the 38 car and just see whether or not he has the performance he needs after that crash. I'm curious as, they're constantly tweaking on the data model, crash model, speed model, tire model on this sim. And Who knows what evils lurk in the changes that they make, and we'll just see whether Chad Coleman has any perilous effects from that contact he had earlier with the 44 of Glenn Campbell. As they roll around here under caution, it's kind of hard to see what the impacts are until we get a little bit of a stretch here. It's a 74 on pit road.
74 on pit road as we're getting ready to come to green. Should mention some more people watching. Barbara Pinion watching the... She put in quotes, "Go faster, pastor." Talking about Stoney Benfield in the 75
Tony Benfield, car. Yes, sir.
As Glazier brings them to the green here. Appreciate 25 viewers I just saw watching here. So appreciate those guys and gals watching. And if you're new to the channel, feel free to say hello, chat it up if you'd like. I don't mind answering questions, and Kevin doesn't either. And I just realized I hadn't even shared Kevin a video. What good host I am here. He doesn't even see what I'm seeing, which
I'm watching through the YouTube channel here.
Oh, so he's watching on a 5-minute delay. That's good.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Actually, it's a lot quicker.
I'm in the stream, so I can see it.
I was gonna say it's a lot quicker with Restream.
There we go.
So right here, mid-pack, about 17th, there's Macklin. There's the 26. The 91's in the wall, Donaldson. There's still 3 wide, almost off the bottom. Gonzalez had to get out of it a little bit. Gonzalez, a former Grand National Series winner at Bristol.
See a lot of these drivers picking that high line up in the corner, letting the car slide all the way up. They're elongating the turn so they can get the drive off for the speed on the straightaway.
Yeah, you want to enter the corners in the middle. You don't want to enter high to try to keep the car high. That's where you get up there and smack the wall. You want to enter center, let the car slide up to the wall, and then drive it off. And then you got to be careful driving it off because you could tail whip or whatever with these back ends. And obviously, the lower you go on this progressive banking, the looser the car gets. Ask Casey Duncan.
You kind of get that tilt-a-whirl feel, right? You get around the top edge and you turn down the banking, and as you're driving down the slope, you can turn to the right, aim out towards the wall, and the car just carries momentum, and it feels amazing. As you see, Richard Beasley in the 21st spot just went around the outside of Jose Gonzalez, taking that position. That's a side-by-side battle. Right now, there's a couple drivers run down and just finally jump out of line. There's Josh Parker coming down underneath the 91 of Wesley Donaldson, who you talked about before, still trying to claw his way forward. I think it's going to be as easy this week at this racetrack.
Yeah, and definitely not as Beasley. We're on board with him as he comes to the top side here on Brian Macklin. Got Rivera there in front of him in that 22 car. Well, you can see him getting kind of jumpy a little bit there. Got to be careful. He's got the, is that Kevin DeBrown, I think, there behind him. Kevin, the winner from Iowa last week.
Iowa.
This is no Iowa, boys and girls.
74 did come out of pit lane and join the back of the pack here. Not sure if that car is up to speed. Sharp looking paint scheme for Brian Wertman. Did a little sling and paint this week, and that's a sharp looking race car.
It's about he's on pit road again here. Unfortunately, multi-laps down, and it's the one pit road here at Bristol. So when you come to pit road here under green, you're losing multiple laps. It's not like in real life where green you can come out at one pit stall. As you see, there's a blue line in 3 and 4 that you cannot go over. It's one long pit road.
Have some of these drivers talk about that low lane when you drive the car in hard and cut the wheel really sharp. It just grinds that right front tire off and gives you a little excess tire wear. So a lot of drivers will pick up the brake somewhere mid straightaway, just roll the car in where they're not killing the car. But eventually you try to go where it's not. Sometimes you go up high and you wear one side, and sometimes you go down low and you wear the other, just trying to strike a balance of keeping heat in the tires and optimal grip as you try to chase the car down in front of you.
You know, Brian Wertman, we just talked about coming down pit road. He's on pit road again. I'm starting to wonder if that's the groove he's running for tonight's race, which might not be a bad idea. Hey, car on the move, by the way, here. Let's check back here at the 14th position. Up 24, ironically, passing the 24 in the 14 is Joey Jattina, the boss man, fresh off a boat. From what I heard. Yeah,
this is, Joey sometimes gets really passionate about his craft in this racing game, and you know, I don't mean the game, I
you
mean
said
sim.
game. Ooh.
But no, I mean in the game of trying to figure out how to do this, the other context. And you know, this is the type of racetrack where focus pays off, and the intensity of racing this racetrack, it fits Joe's persona, is my sense, and I would not be surprised to see him run well here tonight.
All right, I have to stop mid-sentence here because I saw a video this weekend, and it brought a lot of awareness to my eyes. And I see on our chat right now, I guess I'm kind of going Starboy here for a second, but I'm doing it more because of being a caring person that cares about people, and especially those who have done a lot for the sport of racing. Cindy Shepard, I see you watching on Facebook, and I just saw you say go Stony. Cindy, thoughts and prayers with you and your husband. And I saw the video that went out on YouTube with Morgan, and I wish you guys nothing but the best and appreciate what you guys have done for the sport. So I'm just going to get that out of the way now. Yeah. I just felt like that would be a nice thing for me to say. So, as Jatina under attack, Rivera goes by. And look at Calantoni back here in the 84 car, the 91, the 93, Kevin DeBrown. This is getting to be a really intense battle here. As Glazier still leads by about 0.6 of a second. Justin Fuller about 0.9 back. Mojica, Mike Kelly is about 3.5 back. So great fighting going on here. It's 60 laps complete.
Yeah, and this is what we're looking for. Please, no jinx in here. I'm trying not to.
You said earlier we're going to wreck every lap, so I'm good with that.
Yes, we're going to wreck every lap. No, I'm looking at Bentley Glazer trying to put a lap down on Stony Benfield. And, you know, this is where some of that tire wear shows up for some of these guys. But Stony doing, or that, no.
That's
sorry.
Holyfield, I think you're thinking of the 11.
Ron, yeah.
Yes.
My apologies. Ron's doing a good job kind of holding him off and fighting him tough. Man, when you're looking at the leader and you're fast enough, this is how you should race him. Because a caution will put you right back into the mix here, and Bentley is doing his best on that low line and just unable to scrum his way past him.
And the conveyor belt has come into play now, because here's Derek Myers, here's Fuller, here's Mojica. Doy Woods is about to join this battle in that Davey Allison throwback. As per usual, Gerald Livingston on pit road. That's not per usual. That's an unscheduled pit stop as Myers gets in too high there, opens the door for Fuller.
Fuller's car wiggles up off the corner, but he's charging really hard down there on the bottom, since that's the only lane that's open in front of racetrack.
Now you're starting to see where that Bristol groove comes in. You're seeing them enter middle, and then slide up the track to the wall. Now, you got to be careful. You don't want to slide up to the wall. You want to slide like close to it, but not into it. But Benfield, look at Holyfield's actually been able to pull away from Stoney there. So
yeah,
if Ron,
he's got some speed in that car, and he did a good job. I would not yield the position. You're here to race, and he's going to do his best to try and keep himself set up. And, you know, these guys, they have the tool of playing with the brake bias and setting up the master cylinders and such, and that does make a difference for some of them and how they turn into the corner and whether they run the low groove or the bottom groove. Right. And I'll tell you, Holyfield looks good tonight as they move underneath.
3 wide off 2. Back here at about 25th.
Wow.
Who was that? I didn't see. I know Calantoni was in the middle. Wesley Donaldson was up. Caution is out now. Oh, boy. Ron Holyfield is wrecked.
Oh, no.
And thankfully
I looked away for 1 second, and
he didn't take the leaders with him, which I think is good news.
That is good news. I think he got a little contact with the 3, perhaps. Just trying to hold the car down, and unfortunately, wow, that's a tough break.
See what happens. Holyfield in the 11, called before you dig car, is actually they had went past Doug Sigmund in the 04. And gets punched into the wall, and good job by the leaders all to miss. Looks like Ryan just came off shallow into the corner.
I just wonder, you know, you
have
to be in the headspace of where the driver is. And Ron's had a rough couple races lately, but it's not for lack of speed. When he came off the bottom of the corner, I could picture it in his mind that he knew the 3 was to his outside, and he wanted to do his best to stay down there.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes when you try to hold the car down off the banking, and the banking drops away, even though it's still sloped quite a bit on the straightaway, car will wander up the racetrack. That's kind of what it looked like to me, and man, I just hate that for Ron, because he was having a good night here, staying on the lead lap, and had plenty of speed in the car. He'll go get it sorted out and hopefully rejoin the fray here as the leaders go to pit road.
They do, as Glazier leads them in. One long pit road, as I mentioned. Myers way over his pit stall. Almost left pit road, actually. That's going to be interesting to see if they make a call on Myers, if iRacing has any kind of coding there. Because not only he shot through his pit stall, but he was over the green cones. As Glazier easily wins the race off pit road. Second going to the 21 at Fuller, but we do have some cars that stayed out. We'll recap that and get ready to go green back here at lap number 70. But first, let's hear a quick word from our sponsors with 811.
If recent storms have caused damage to your property, contact 811 before you begin your cleanup. Buried utilities around uprooted trees can make a bad situation worse if those lines are not located before digging. Electric, natural gas, and internet lines are everywhere, and knowing where they are is the safest way to start any digging project. Call North Carolina 811 by dialing 811 or by using single address ticket on nc811.org or the NC811 app.
All right, back we are at the last great Coliseum, Bristol Motor Speedway, virtually on iRacing and the Captain Esports Network. Appreciate everybody joining us on this Monday evening. The Captain with you, Chris Scala with Kevin England. A little bit of a late start this evening. Appreciate everybody joining us. 25, I saw 26 viewers at one point, which is cool. Awesome. Much appreciated. As always, we got plenty of great things to do on a Monday night to come out here and watch, arguably, in my opinion, one of the best leagues in iRacing go racing on a Monday night. This is definitely cool, and it's an honor to be able to enjoy the night with you guys here calling the race, and of course with you, Kev, as you've been here pretty much mostly from the start as we were on the air the middle part of last season on the Cup Series. So looking forward to what's coming up in the future. But right now, what's coming up is another restart here at lap number 72, and the top 3 have stayed out. Eric Arnold and Jose Gonzalez are going to be your leaders. Now, that 44 car, Glenn Campbell, I believe he has also stayed out, so he'll be third. So Bentley Glazier, first car outside lane, has the 4 Feel Goods. As we go back racing, Arnold going to run away. Full Monty Python mode right now. As Glazier's like, nah, that's not happening. Not going to happen.
Now it becomes one of those opportunity times, right? These drivers running in the back, they see a chance to make a couple positions. They're in close contact. When the field gets strung out, as we got a caution, 2 cars up high, everybody scrambling to get by.
Oh, we got a big wreck. Oh, and more wrecking. Livingston piles
Holy
in.
God, wow.
Jimmy Coleman stopped. Tommy Ryan, Randy Yoakum, David Comstock.
Yeah, things happen so quickly here. You're going to have to also go take a look at what Kevin DeBrown did in order to slide through that. That was incredible.
And looks like everybody checking up here, so this is lap 74 with our 6th caution.
Yeah, just a little tap, tap, tap of the bumper. All it takes is to put them around. The cars are running so much on edge. Looks like Mons might have nicked the number 13, turned him sideways, and unfortunately for Jimmy Coleman, there's just no place to go when the car is dead set sideways in front of you.
Everybody pile in.
Don't bone,
Stenzel. Look out, and there comes that was a 24 coming hot. So let's go up to where it all, the root of the cause, as they like to say. You said Justin Mons. There he is, up here in the 12th position. Let's... So they're 3 wide here through 2. It looks like Comstock kind of gets out of it a little bit here. goes into the corner, and then they both just shoot for the middle.
Watch the 93 on the bottom. In that shot, he almost hit the end of pit road.
Oh, that's replayable. You said the 93, Kevin DeBrown, who runs somewhere.
He got
is
Nick
24th.
trying to cut down to the bottom. Sees it, cuts low, gets tagged.
Oh, he gets tagged by Joey. Oh, wow.
And then he just swings the front end up and around the barrels and drives off. Like, ain't nothing but a thing.
Hold my soda, boys. We're going to send it.
Hold my beer. Watch
Yes.
this.
Now,
Right, that's one of those.
do...
When you're in the car, you're like, damn, that was cool.
Right? So I want to keep with Comstock here for a second, because when he left this wreck, there's a way you can tell if somebody's mad or not. And Comstock left this wreck like he was really irritated. All right, Gerald Livingston didn't help with the center punch there.
No, he did not.
So we're going to watch David here for a second.
This is where you spin out on your own.
This is where you take off at full speed like the green just came out. And you go flying past other cars. And you come to the inside, past all the stop cars, hit the inside wall.
Oof.
And you're looking for somebody. Tell me. And you go up and you give Justin Mons a hello. I don't appreciate that. Now, ask me how I know he was going to do that. Because I've
But
been
in the
that.
grand scheme of things, you know,
I've
boys will
been-
be boys. Let them have at it, all that stuff. I don't find that terribly offensive, right? Get it out of your system, get it done, do no harm.
I've been that guy.
I'm not a race administrator, so I can call it that way. Maybe race administrators don't appreciate that, but
Well, you didn't
let's
do it.
put that all away because we got a green flag, and here we go again.
We did. We do, I should say, with lap number 80. And same time, yeah, he didn't do anything wrong. He just went up there and like, no harm. He didn't give a 4X or something to somebody or wreck the guy. Just went up there and just showed his displeasure, a little courtesy tap, and went back to his position.
As somebody could have just eased down on the apron and got plunked.
Mons gets in the back, and Gonzalez got pushed up the track a little bit by Doy. That's right there, 10th position.
And I'm telling you, you don't even know where to look. You just close your eyes and wait for the crunch. It feels that way when you're in the race car sometimes too. You're looking around at everything, 20 cars in front of you, just trying to watch and see what's going on. Is good run right here for Nelson Rivera, running in the 19th spot, picking up a couple slots here, running that high side out behind Tyler Dalton, who we know wants to get through this without any lumps.
Now, the guy who did not want to see these
I'm turned
cautions.
sideways and right in front of Tyler Dalton. I'm sorry, Tyler. Oh, I am so cursed tonight.
Calantoni and the 91 involved. You said Dalton, who's coming to the press box now officially, and more. So 7th caution, just shy of halfway. For those who took the over, you're smarter than I am.
Tony just got a little wiggle right in front of Kevin DeBrown. He's seen a little of everything here tonight in that 93. Shucked him off, though.
We're going to leave the me saying good luck to people and things to me.
I know. I think I need to, like, rub my belly and
Pat,
do
you ready?
something. Somebody stick a pin in my voodoo doll.
I'm going to leave that one alone.
What is the thing where you rub your forehead one way and rub your belly the other?
Yeah, that's what I thought you were going with, because you said rub your belly. So
That's
I
what I
thought it
was
a
going
pat your
with. I
forehead
wasn't
deal.
trying to do anything. You know me.
Kevin Stone, Joey Jattina got through there. Doug Roth comes in there, and you just see in Stony Benfield gets a little bit of damage, it looks like. But that, again, Bristol, you're driving 130 miles an hour down these straightaways, and you come barreling into these corners. It is not easy to stop. See if we can find
The 17 of Kevin Stone going to pit road. I believe he has a broken wheel.
So it looks like
tracking properly.
Calantoni got turned. It looks like up here by the 93.
Tony got a little wiggle. And
Oh,
on,
yeah,
I
okay.
think the 93, if you go back a little bit, he wiggled up off the corner and scrubbed off some speed, and the 93 was on him in an instant just because he was hard on the throttle coming up off the gas.
Hey, 30 viewers tonight. All right. That's going to make our boss man very happy, by the way.
Watch the little wiggle up off the corner. That's all it takes. You're going to drop a mile an hour, maybe 2.
You definitely lose the momentum.
He's up in the groove right to the outside. The car should turn here as he comes off the corner. He's got a good run, but he swung up a little high. And as he turned it back in right here, he got a little bit out of the groove. And you can see the car start to yaw around. And he slid down across the 93, who was coming with a full head of steam. And the car just is doing that little snake and trying to catch it, but unfortunately, you're so on the edge, the car has the absolute minimum grip it can have because you're running so hard on the grip that all it takes is you could reach out with a hand and push the car and spin it around.
As we work the 7th caution here at lap 88, Bentley Glazier been the dominator here tonight, looking to, much like last night, with Fuller, become the first repeat winner in this track's history.
I have a 31 Chevy in the garage, and it sits on those little dollies with the 4 wheels.
Mm-hmm.
And you can physically push it around the garage with a finger when they're set up right. And that's kind of what it feels like. You just see a car coming off the corner, and if you just tapped it with a finger or pushed on it, you could make it swing around.
I'm going to agree with that 100%, Casey. He said if that was the real car, I'm sure I'd have died.
Yeah, I have to agree.
All right, back to the restart, right at halfway.
I think it would have went through the windshield.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Chad
right,
Coleman
here we go.
back up to the 6th position. Chad was in a wreck earlier. Josh Parker was in a wreck earlier. He's up at 7th. We're 3 wide up the middle as Randy Yoakum trying to just kind of stay out of the way here and let this field go by. Oh, and there goes Mike Kelly around off Doy Woods' nose.
I didn't say a word about that one. I was watching Kevin Stone. He rejoined the fray. His car looks like it is functional, at least, in the number 17, and that happened way out front.
Glenn Campbell, I think, and Jimmy Coleman get a piece of this, and we're now 2 cautions away from the the over. I saw it look like Doy and the 2 come together. Yeah, it's behind the wreck here. I'm firing my producer.
Yeah, I would look at the 81 car as they come up off the corner. I'm not sure if the 2 got loose or what, but
Oh, you know what? It wasn't Doy. I'm sorry, Doy. It was Josh Parker and Kelly that came together. Did not mean to make that wrong. Kelly says rolling backwards. I think he was not. I can only picture Mike Kelly probably had that hole. He let his hands off the wheel and just literally leaned back in his seat and just let the car roll. That's probably what happened right here.
just watch out the windshield, see what's coming at you until everybody goes by, and then it's a hazard thing and whip the wheel.
Probably said some words you probably don't want to say. Yeah, Parker gets into the back of the 2. Doy Woods into the wall with Yoakum. Kevin DeBrown.
You've been there. I know it. When you're racing and you get crashed and you just let the car roll and you're just sitting there going,
Then you get yelled at for not holding the brakes. And it's like, you get yelled at for not holding the brakes, and you're like, my bad. You know, I was mad.
I was thinking of something like, yeah. You do. You have a moment with yourself there for a little while. Every racer goes through that. Like, what the heck just happened? Sometimes you're just sitting there processing the whole thing. Josh Parker sitting on pit road right now, getting some service done, and he's going to lose a lap.
So just past halfway, 95 complete. Hey, you think this is great? We go to Martinsville next week.
Yes, sir.
So 3 straight weeks of short track action here on the Cup side of things. For the Grand National side that you can watch on Sunday nights, they're at Texas next week at the 1.5 mile track. So gonna do a little trip, a little driving or flying or whatever in between races. I was wondering if Joey is gonna buy a charter flight for like everyone to go to Martinsville after the Texas race.
I'd sign up for that.
I'm not holding my breath on that one.
I,
Obviously, it's
I,
all virtually.
I'm so like gun shy to talk about anybody, but I'm going to do it. Brian Macklin started 20th here, running 7th right now. We have not said his name. He stayed out of trouble, and I don't know if the whammy is really true in this world, but I'm sorry, Brian, if I did that to you, but he's having a stellar night so far here, halfway through, and has made himself a contender here, being in the top 10.
All right, so we're just going to hang out here with Macklin and watch.
Don't do that. You know, there's no truth to it. It has absolutely nothing to do in this universe with the way the world works.
I've always learned it's only true if you believe it. As Coleman and Doy Woods about come together right in front of Macklin. As now Doy Woods, there it goes. And the field is gone in this one.
Oh my gosh. I just don't know what that's.
If you would like your lottery numbers, please email Kevin England.
I'm laying on the ground right now. I just can't contemplate the fact that that happened. It's not even, it's, you know, this is an England curse, right? You laugh and you giggle when you're really in trouble. You're sitting in front of the judge and the judge is asking you what happened and you just start laughing. It's one of those moments.
I honestly don't know what to say.
I'm sorry,
Honestly.
Judge, I didn't mean to kill the patient. You know? Whew. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, boy.
I am so sorry.
And now I'm getting blamed by KC for pulling him up into the... I think that happened like 2 years ago. Anyways. So here's the replay. Doy Woods gets loose off turn 2. And, I mean, I think everybody, including Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy, got in this one. Pile in, boys! Jatina involved. Montesi, Rivera, Simley, Charles Woods.
Yeah. Okay, so how do you talk about a race when you don't talk about the drivers? How does that work?
Here is your job the rest of the night. You are now only allowed to talk about...
We just completed a lap.
You're only allowed to talk about now Joe Hudson, Casey Duncan, Brian Wortman, Gerald Livingston, John Higman, Calantoni, Holyfield, Yoakum, or anybody off the track.
Okay. So Casey Duncan said he saw angels as he was scratching
There you go.
at his windshield. That's how much sky he saw.
That'll happen sometimes.
I'm just sorry to anybody who's in this race tonight. I didn't mean it.
Beasley,
I didn't know I had power.
Mike Kelly gets a piece. Comstock locks up, gets hit by Arnold. So many cars in that one. That is called a biggin. Ninth caution, lap 100.
I don't want to talk about.
We'll let Kevin catch his breath here for a second. We're gonna step away and hear a word from 811.
Okay, thank you.
If recent storms have caused damage to your property, contact 811 before you begin your cleanup. Buried utilities around uprooted trees can make a bad situation worse if those lines are not located before digging. Electric, natural gas, and internet lines are everywhere, and knowing where they are is the safest way to start any digging project. Call North Carolina 811 by dialing 811 or by using single address ticket on nc811.org or the NC811 app.
All right, back to green we are here at lap 103 as you saw Glazier get a good start there on the 21. Fuller second, Myers, Mojica, and Coleman your top 5. Justin Mons, Jose Speedy Gonzalez there up this the 8th position there behind Kelly. Now Beasley and Robert Frary your top 10. And now
off sideways. Oh, big hit for the 19 of Tyler. Lost it coming up off the corner and collected. Maybe Kevin DeBrown?
as Tyler Dalton going to bring out the 10th caution at lap 106.
I didn't have anything to do with that. So, I was just looking out the window, trying to see what the weather's doing out there.
It's dark. You're not going to see anything.
That was rather unusual. I don't know if he was just, again, pinching the car down.
No, he got hit by Doug Roth.
Yes, Doug Roth got him.
He runs slap into Kevin DeBrown.
Okay, that explains it. Because it was so weird. He just all of a sudden went sideways across the racetrack, and I couldn't see what started that. Wow.
Bristol has been rough to the boys, fans. Appreciate everybody watching and hanging out. Hope you're being entertained at least. We're trying. They're trying out there too. Great series to watch race, and well, Bristol's happening. Put it like that. Macklin got a piece. SpongeBob's, as I called him last night, SpongeBob Squareshike got a piece. And we got cars on pit road. Gonzalez, Donaldson, Woods, DeBrown. They do got 3 sets of tires in the pits. I don't know if they're going to need them.
Yeah, Macklin's in getting some damage fixed. I could talk about him now, right? Because I've already whammied him once, so maybe that's...
Here comes your second whammy.
Maybe whammied.
You're going to make me go get a photo of a whammy and put it up on the screen every time there's a wreck. There's another league I was using a Ross Chastain photo. It was kind of funny.
91 and the 12 in for pit service here. I have to wonder, pit wise,
Yeah.
you have more than enough fuel to get to the finish, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah, less than 80 laps to go here. Yeah, you can...
Tires
almost,
maybe not that big of a play. Not hard to tell.
I think,
Last KC.
I think it
KC
depends...
tires matter?
Yeah, okay, I can tell you from tires are going to matter here, but it's going to be a situation where you've got to get a long enough run for it to happen because you're kind of loose and free at the start, and then the car will start tightening up on you. And when the tightening happens, that's when the tires come into play. Now, I don't know if they're...
Let me say that a little differently. Of course tires matter. That's a dumb thing to say. However, if you're way in the back and you had new tires, are they good enough to make your way through the field? Then tires don't matter if the answer is no. So, as we get further along into this race, there comes a point of no return, and I'm wondering if we're there. We certainly have enough gas, but there's only some 70-ish laps to go, and when you get to that point, laps tick off so quickly around here, and cautions consume a little bit of time, so you're almost to the point where this is not going to pay you any dividends.
I feel like you just pulled reverse psychology on me.
Of course, they'll get that wrong. They'll crash half the field. They'll have to go to pit road, and you'll dump 20 cars.
As we come to the green flag this time by lap 110. 70 to go. It's Glazier and Fuller. Been the top 2. Myers there in 3rd. And I'm going to go ahead and test it out.
Here we go.
Mons up to the 5th position, having a great run with Chad Coleman also. Richard Beasley up there at 8th, doing a good job. Kevin's holding he's holding it in. Like, no.
I'm just watching a race here at Bristol.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I have a good feeling we're going green from here.
All right, here we go. But I tell you, these drivers coming up off the corner from the bottom of the cars, yawing out sideways a lot of times. They're just trying to do all they can down there.
And that's because of progressive banking. That's what they got here is progressive banking, bottom and top. Obviously, goes up. It's something they changed back in the early 2000s. I think people to this day still hate it, but it's created good racing.
What a save. Wow.
Oh, Stoney, yes, with a save. Great job in the 75. Unfortunately, he's going to lose where he was in the top 10. But in that 811 car, doing a good job. Or doing his best, actually. He's been involved in some wrecks. Faster, Pastor, as they're saying.
And he did a good job. One of the more complicated things to do when you turn sideways and you're running 30, 40 miles an hour slower than everybody else is have situational awareness.
Right.
Get back into the racetrack, get yourself back up to speed without sliding up in front of somebody who's turning down in the corner. So I have to say a really great job by the number 75. I like that answer there, bro. I'll just call the number and not say the driver name.
Justin Fuller putting pressure on Bentley here. A lead change potentially coming as they come up on a lap car. Looks like Fuller's twin brother, Ron Holyfield, here. Fuller had to kind of adjust himself. He thought Holyfield might come up the track. But Holyfield doing a good job staying predictable too. I mean, he was predictable in my opinion, but I don't think Fuller would agree.
Tell you the driver licking his chops is Pedro Mojica. He's just quietly riding there in third. Oh, I said his
Good job.
Pedro will stay out of trouble. He'll be the one to break the curse for me.
Hey, I should mention with all this fun happening in the race, Eric Arnold did finally make a pit stop at lap 86 as he wrecks with Jeff Ryan. Now, I did not compliment Eric. I just updated his situation.
That one wasn't me, folks.
So it's to verify. I didn't say he was having a good run. Caution's out, though, for Eric Arnold. And the over has been completed, 121 laps. There you go. In fairness, I came within 60 laps.
You mean to tell me that I've been on this earth 40 years and all I had to say to the drivers see them crash? You ever see that guy on TikTok?
Yeah, right.
Oh, the leaders heading to pit road. This is going to be a final pit stop for these guys. Top three dropped off the banking and they're in the pit lane here.
Arnold smashes Jose Gonzalez in the 26 car, smash burger. Makes me want a burger tonight for dinner. As the leaders come to pit road, as you mentioned, all the way around. See that blue line? You cannot go to the outside of it right there. 35 mile an hour pit road speed limit. Four tires and fuel for all these guys. Unfortunately, you still can't see the pit crews, or my computer would probably be toast if it showed them all.
It goes without saying how treacherous it is to try to maintain your pit speed here. Not speed.
Casey, can you control Aaron, please?
Did you see that pit stop by the 22 car? What was it, 22? No, sorry, the 21 car.
I know the 91 of Wesley Donaldson, Doy Woods, and Jeff Ryan have stayed out. You mentioned a 21 car, 14.7, so good stop there. Tommy Ryan with an 18-second stop. Not the best there, but... Oh, that was actually... Yeah, that was this time by. So let's... got a lot of shakeup here. I think the Yahtzee can's been pulled out here. So Doy Woods, Jeff Ryan's coming to pit road now. So Doy Woods, Wesley Donaldson, Glenn Campbell, Scott Simley, Charles Woods, and Tommy Ryan have stayed out from that pit stop. These are the guys that think that what has happened in the first 124 laps will happen again.
So the question lies with the drivers that were leading this race now that they're not in clean air and have clean racetrack. What will they be able to do? Will they be able to knife their way through the field here with fresh tires, or will they be mired back there trying to claw for every position like we've seen all night long?
Oh, I think they're going to have to be patient here because you got at least 5 guys that are going to be either beside or in front of you that have older tires. And, you know, we're seeing that these tires are playing a role. So I think for Bentley, I think for Mojica, these guys are going to have to be patient here. And at the same time, we know the people behind them might not be as patient. So you've got to watch your mirror not to get ran over, but you got to make sure you don't run the people over in front of you. Kind of like running in traffic.
Can you have patience at Bristol? That's a good question.
I sure hope so. I mean, Darrell Waltrip must have. He won here 12 times.
The 18 has had the fastest car all night long, just speed on speed as he comes around here, and he's going to pick up 2 positions already.
Hey, old school racing fans, how cool is it, by the way, to see a Haviland number 28 up front at Bristol?
Amen.
Scott Simley up to second. There's Glazier already working his way to third past Donaldson. Donaldson's not where you want to be, and, well, the flag guy has probably got carpal tunnel right now. His caution's out for the 12th time. And I don't know where this one is.
The 8 car?
Randy Yoakum, yep.
Maybe he got with the 14. I couldn't see who else he got tangled with, but coming through the corner there. It was very slow to the outside.
That was
something else because he got crashed during the caution. Yellow was out for quite some time, wasn't it?
no, the caution went out, but what I'm seeing though is actually, well, yeah, it was out for about 2 seconds at that point, so he was not the caution.
Yeah, he might have checked up and Joey didn't get on the binders as well. Also, his car didn't look like it was going as fast as it should have been as Joey goes through the cones, from what I saw.
Did I just hear your phone playing Go to Sleep?
That was my watch telling me it's time to go to bed. Yes. Apple, providing the fine service that they do, tell me every night that around this time, Kevin, go to bed. I never listened to it.
That's interesting. I mean, does it also play Hush Little Baby, Don't You Cry?
Yeah. It
Nice.
plays the little kitty song,
Nice.
you know, from Big Bang Theory, little kitty song.
Yes. I got you. Tyler Dalton on chat, verifying, as I kind of had said earlier, yes, the ARCA braking isn't as bad as thought because of the the brakes on these cars, which of course are bigger. It's just kind of, well, hard to stop these things. So Doy Woods has come to pit road here, put on a set of tires. Scott Simley now taking the lead here with 50 laps to go. Glazier going to be second. Wesley Donaldson is in the spot that we really haven't talked about. Because of the choose cone and stuff not being on iRacing, the inside of row 2 at this track might be the worst place to start in all of racing. Because by the end of the first lap, you're probably running 10th. And for Wesley here, I wouldn't be surprised if he's 20th by the end of the first lap. Because the outside lane is just going to freight train him. And to explain what Tyler's saying, and now I know, let me clarify this too with the 27 viewers. I'm able to see everyone's chat. We have people that are chatting over on YouTube that can't see the Facebook chat, and then people on Facebook that can't see the YouTube chat. Just to verify all that as Kevin eats a potato chip. So with that said, Tyler's explaining on the Facebook page basically about the brakes of this car. This car is the only car in iRacing where you actually have to use, you kind of got to push the pedal in advance to get heat into it to get the brakes to work. You can't just stomp on them. Where the other cars in iRacing, it's a little different. And that's part of when this next-gen car came out. Came with the package here on iRacing. Here we go, green flag out. Simley taking off, and Donaldson already back to 5th. As Glazier with the fresh tires, going to roll the bottom. Going to bring Mojica with him, and to the lead they go.
Okay, well, question answered. That 18 car has the speed tonight and is not going to be denied if he has anything to do with it. And laps are winding down, 47 to go. These guys are on kill right now. I don't think they're going to give an inch. So if anybody's got anything, it's time to show it is.
Yep, Mons. Yeah. Now, as I say, Mons on the bottom here comes Fuller. I do want to throw this out to the viewers, and I'll ask you the same question, Kevin. If you're somebody it's not up, caution's out. Never mind. Doug Sigmund involved. I think Mike Kelly's got some damage.
43 seems to be involved. 81 seems to be involved.
For those who join Chad Coleman in the after party each week, this party might go all the way until next week's race. Right. Nah, I think you're exactly right there, Tyler. And the reason why there's not much brake used at this track is because there's so much downforce now with the diffuser on the back and with the under part of the car is covered up, so all the air's going. Oh, Doug Roth hooks Kelly. Oh, and hello, Josh Parker.
That's a knock your filling out kind of hit there for Josh Parker. He's going to go get service right away.
Roth tried to check up so it wouldn't be worse, and unfortunately Josh Parker was coming with a head of steam, and we just mentioned how it's hard to stop.
You might think to yourself, why don't just turn left and miss all that? When the car's going into the corner and you commit it to the line, it's almost impossible to yank it.
Well, it's not even just that. The brakes, when you're on the brakes, it's not easy just to hang a left.
Yeah. It's dried seaweed. Can you believe that?
The whole
Not a potato chip. I would love it to be like a Lay's chip or something.
You're eating dry seaweed?
Yes, sir.
What?
Yeah. I know, it's strange. You ever see dried seaweed? You can buy it at the Asian market. It's premium roasted seaweed with olive oil, a little bit of salt. It's delicious.
I grew up on the ocean, so I've seen wet seaweed.
I could do a John Panette thing that I will because it's just totally inappropriate. But if you've seen the video, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. So I will ask you this, Kevin. Though I was starting to ask, and viewers, you can get involved in this too.
Shoot.
How far do you go here? If you're somebody like Scott Simley, if you're somebody like Glenn Campbell, who's in 9th now, if you're somebody who is not pitted for that last set of tires or the second set of tires here, and you want to try to get an advantage on these guys, how long do you go before you go put them on?
Yeah, I think I would have taken him already because when you get to the point where you're inside 50 to go at this racetrack, one, laps click off quickly, and two, I feel like if there's going to be a number of cautions, you're not going to get a chance to race for it. Now, I want to bake your noodle a little bit. Maybe some of these guys are not racing. There is a strategy to run this racetrack where you look out the windshield, let anybody go by, leave 10 car lengths in front of you, make sure you can get stopped, and all of a sudden the checkered flag is out and you're running in the top 10. That is a way to go sometimes.
That works. HR department's on the phone.
What, bake your noodle?
Yeah. I don't care, honestly. I'm like, what? I thought it was funny. Hey, Glazier back to green. I've never heard that term before. That's the only reason why I said that.
It just means to make your brain hurt, basically, trying to think through.
Oh, my brain does that 24/7, so
Yes.
that noodle's burnt if that's the case. All right, back to green as Fuller goes 3 wide past Simley. I've never heard that before.
I was going to say, if I said something wrong, then I apologize.
No, I don't. No. Me? Are you kidding? Oh,
No.
under the wall, somebody is back there.
Boy, these guys they just have their hands full, right? And, you know, we don't
caution
appreciate
back out.
how hard it is to drive these cars at this racetrack, let alone 43 other drivers.
Robert Frary got in the wall in the back straightaway, and he stayed in the wall, but I think somebody else is wrecked. Yeah, it's nearly impossible to offend me. I just had to make the joke about HR. You know who the HR department is here? Me.
I'm gonna call the HR department.
There you go. See? You know what HR does around here? Nothing.
31 car was the
Oh, Eric. Oh, boy.
just by himself there. It looks like the car got loose up off the corner. Tank slapper against the inside wall.
Like Scoob, we lost the car. The voodoo car goes around and brings the caution out.
Yeah. Voodoo. That isn't that appropriate for tonight.
It's a great song by Godsmack.
14 cautions for 60 laps so far is the answer to that question, Aaron.
14 for 60. We're at 145, which means we've had 85 green flag laps. So there you go. More green than yellow so far.
Bad ratio for this racetrack.
Yeah.
Bad.
This is not like the Martinsville truck race Friday night.
We've had some decent green flag runs. Peppered with a little bad luck from you and me.
Oh, we're going to the finish on green here now, the rest of the way.
We're on, baby. Here we go. I've called a lot of races in my time. I really am like heebie-jeebie here for what we did. Is the 8 car gets the lucky dog and gets to go around.
Let's
30 on pit road, 77 on pit road, 44 on pit road, 91 on pit road, 99 on pit road. A lot of these cars have damage in it. If you have the opportunity under these cautions, because they go by so quickly, small racetrack, not a lot of time spent. So you could just keep popping in, get whatever damage you can finished, and then join back in. And your car will perform better, obviously, if it's not has the wheel damage, because a lot of these guys probably have some form of wheel damage.
Now, interesting. Tyler says in chat, he says, I missed last night's car. And, of course, there could be the argument that the Xfinity car, the Grand National car from the 811 series from last night, a lot of argument from people out there to think that that car should be the Cup car, which I don't have an argument against it. No. The one thing I was going to do is talk to Bentley Glazier under this caution, but I noticed he's not in Discord. So I was going to try to prove Mr. Duncan's theory wrong, but he's not in chat, so that might actually be a good thing. So we're coming to 1 to green, so I'm not going to be able to talk. But if we get another caution here, I will speak with a driver that's in the top 5 to show you that there's any kind of kibosh or spell or whatever.
No truth to it. Yeah, I like that theory. I agree with it.
It's only one if you believe it.
They can't hear us. That's the funny thing. It's not like we...
Well, I'm pretty sure somebody... Okay,
We don't have to push the buttons or anything.
Shut my mic off again. 27 viewers we got right now. I'm pretty sure that 5 of those 27 are in their cars right now racing. As we go green. 148 laps complete. I've had people mid-race actually texting me hello when there's been like a lot of wrecks. Not in this race, but... Tyler Dalton, I was in my car. There's one.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
And caution is out, so... Mike Kelly involved, Robert Frary. Mike Kelly's like... Mike Kelly's give a darn is probably gone right now. Oh, that might be a tow link broken. As caution out. Let's see what started this one. The boss man involved, it looks like here too. Macklin goes up the middle, 3 wide. And there's the smoke. Oh, Joey gets in a segment there.
The Yeah, it looks like Charles Woods maybe broke a little traction there and stacked everybody up on the end of the corner.
I'm trying to get it to go to somebody. You said Charles Woods. Let's go to Charles Woods then. Sometimes in my stuff here, it doesn't like tell me, like it says it down below who's in the wreck, but like it's after the wreck already happened, so it just goes to that person and then the wreck's already happened. So let's go to Charles Wood here in the 40, running 16th right. Oh yeah, there's the wreck. All right, so Goat Racing. I'm guessing that's Charles Van Schaik, or as I call him, SpongeBob Van Schaik. He's said to go on board his car. So obviously he's watching in racing. And Jimmy Coleman gets into the 40. And
The 40 just didn't have a good entry there and got checked up and tagged.
SpongeBob SquarePants goes through the wreck. That was my best Patrick. Or not Patrick, but the Squidward.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go on board with
Wow. I agree.
Van Schaik here.
Yeah, this is going to be...
He lives underwater and misses the wreck. SpongeBob SquarePants.
Woo!
Yikes!
Woo! I just added sound effects to make it even better.
You're Ric Flairing us now. We're having fun. That's all that matters here. So, all right. So here we go. We're not one to go, right? All right. Justin Fuller, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, man. Well, this has been wild. Running that 21 car, got 811 on it. And, well, you got a shot to win this thing. You've showed you're one of the fast 5 cars. Obviously need a little bit of a run, but what's it going to take to get you up there outside of green flag laps?
Green flag laps. That's about the only answer I got for you. And getting a better restart, not getting stuck behind guys that can't restart, not getting stuck behind guys on old tires, and getting on the outside line on a restart. That would be nice too. Yeah, if I can get all 3 of those things, we might be able to win this race. But at the rate we're going, we're probably going to finish 5th.
That's a top 5, but I mean, how slick is it out there? Is that what the call is? Is it the slickness of the track?
It's not slick at all. It's just people driving over their heads.
There you go. That's all I need to hear. Justin Fuller, appreciate it, man. Good luck. He was not very shy to say what he felt there. So
Yep, that's pretty typical.
now, if Justin Fuller wins this race, everybody's gonna be like, "I'm sorry, Captain."
Yeah.
Ask Casey Carrington what happened the first time I chatted with him during a race. Go ahead. I want everybody to ask. As we come back to the green.
Chad Coleman right there in 6th. He's in the 13 is back
Ooh.
up there. So, we talked about the hits that these cars could take on the outset. 58 was sideways there, but some of these guys have made great recoveries. Look at Justin Mons right up there in the mix.
Derek Myers shut the door on Mojica there on the restart, which I think back to last night. As Mojica gets loose now, 3 wide into the corner. Fuller's going to get by him, and now Coleman to his top side. And then Fuller gets loose and clears for 4th.
He just drove the snot out of that car up off the corner, never lifted, let the car yaw out, turned right into it, and just kept his foot planted in it to get that 4th position.
Casey, you're a worse liar than a crew chief saying you're good on fuel.
A little stretched out right now, a lot of these drivers. Pedro's car does not look happy down there.
Yeah, and he probably got his tires angry at him there as Beasley goes by. The bottom right now just doesn't have it. It's been worn out for 160 laps here. Beasley getting all the Harlem Shake there going. Well, that's what I was referencing, okay? As Fuller putting the pressure on Mons here for 3rd.
Doing all he can there. Peaking low, but if Mons is right, he just holds the lane. Outstanding run by Derek.
No.
On second right now, he's been, has the speed to be up there. He was up there in the beginning, has made his way back, has held his track position, and right now he's not able to catch Bentley, who's been in a different zip code from everybody else, but certainly a respectable run right now.
Derek, I'm so sorry.
Come on. We're past all that.
Oh, 17 laps to go. Anything can happen. As you mentioned, Glazier's dominated this race. Fuller drops it to the bottom.
Car that's coming is Richard Beasley running 7th right now on the Tide Ride. That number 10 looks pretty hooked up here tonight.
Beasley looking to try to get around. There's Mr. Sleepy. Comstock's back through the field. He's back up here to 6th after being involved in about 1 or 2 accidents. And Fuller working at bottom on Mons.
Down low, he's to the quarter panel. At times he gets to the door number, but just can't seem to get the drive off on the bottom of the corner to make the pass.
Well, the hardest part here for this car is it's so much speed carrying through the center, you really can't pull a slide job. Because if you're Fuller, you get to his door, you can almost try the slider here, but you're carrying so much speed, you just can't do it in this car. Oh, well, Mons gets loose. That might open the door for him.
The outside lane really lets you carry the speed, and then you drive off the corner and lengthen the straightaway. You're in the throttle.
Fuller racing Mons very clean here.
Derek Myers has reeled in the 18 of Bentley Glazer. Bentley was able to drive away earlier, but in his tire tracks, two car lengths behind him. Holding pace here as Fuller is relentlessly trying to get that 3rd position.
Oh, I thought they were going to touch there for a second. Now Chad Coleman's coming into play here. So now Fuller's got to play defense and not let Coleman get to his right rear. And Chad is pretty much there now as Fuller gets to his door. Coming up to 9 to go. There's a slider attempt, but not there yet. Mons into the wall, into Fuller.
They are beating and banging, going down the straight.
Now Fuller clears.
Wow, they were beating and banging going down the straightaway, and Fuller able to take that position. Hats off to both of them for being able to keep the car straight.
You mentioned Myers trying to get to Glazier. 8 laps to go, coming up on a couple lap cars. There's some smoke up ahead I just saw. Well, I'm seeing smoke at times.
You know, just see some of these cars cutting down to be on the apron, so they're not mixing this. But quintessential Bristol here is you've got to hit your marks. You've got to do everything you can to get every ounce of speed you can to see if you can track them down. As Derek is closing every once in a while.
Caution.
Yellow comes out here.
Oh, here we go. Caution out. Doy Woods, maybe? Jimmy Coleman, maybe? Doy stopped over here at the entrance of pit road, or the, what would be the invisible wall or whatever. And he toes the pit road. Oh, boy. Sim500 overtime. Here we come. And I was about to say the battle for 5th was really getting hot. Let's see what happens here real quickly.
Just stopped on the racetrack waiting for the pace car.
Oh, he got hooked. Doy and Scott Stenzel come together over on the back straightaway there. That was like an hour ago, dude.
When you're sliding down through that apron and come on, clear, boom. Oh,
right.
Man, I was going to clear that wall.
I think that's Campbell that got through there with the 3 car.
I start looking now at who's got tires. Everybody's been to pit road, what, 50?
You're not pitting
50,
there.
57 laps ago, but you go back to Tommy Ryan running into 12th position right now. 34 laps on his tires. 2 slots behind him, Simley, 27 laps on his tires. Tires make that much of a difference. Some of those cuts that they'll be able to make to turn the car down in the corner and drive off may yield a couple positions here in the final stint.
So I assume Bentley's going to take the outside lane here probably for the restart. So here we go. Derek Myers back in this position again like last night. Did he learn from last night? Because he said one of the things he was beating himself up for was not getting the good restarts. I said last night, I'll say it again. Bentley Glazier's likely going early.
If I'm Derek, I'm just going to try and make sure I keep the car straight as I put that throttle down. Don't get the car sideways. At minimum, if you're not going to get Bentley, don't let anybody tag you in the back and wreck your race.
Absolutely.
Last thing you want is to have such a great race, be up here in the top 5 for the final restart and get yourself cleaned out, and you're sitting backwards in that headspace that we were talking about going, what the heck happened? That's a nay-nay here. You want to get to the finish.
Again, next week is Martinsville Speedway. So come join us at 8:30 Monday night next week here on the Captain Esports Network. Also on the Sim500 Facebook, on the Captain Esports Facebook. Who knows? Maybe Kevin's Facebook.
Yep. I have to say, and this is just my impression, didn't we just get here? How did this race go by so quickly? I feel like it zipped on past, even though we've had 16 cautions for 75 laps. We're at the finish. Like, what the heck happened?
As we'll come to the green flag, Sim500 overtime. Got to get to the white to get to the finish. Glazier gets a good start. He actually proved me wrong. He went a little later than I thought. And once again, Myers not ready.
He got tagged in the back, but he was able to keep it straight because he got hit square. Now he's going to try and see what he could do coming up off the
Caution!
corner. Going to go back one more time to number 2 green-white checker.
Which is the last one. So are we going to have both Bristol races end under yellow? That's what happened last night. Yellow this time is for someone.
Survey says, ding.
I saw Doug Sigmund get the wall. Is that where it's at? I see smoke up ahead here, but I don't see anybody spun around. That's from Joey Jattina's view. Well, from... Let's look up ahead here. Oh, right there. Somebody's spinning up ahead. That is an 811 car. A green one. Is it Ron Holyfield, maybe? It's not Ron Holyfield. He's off the track. Try again, Scala. I don't think it was Mike Kelly because it was a black and green. Oh, you know what? It might have been Scott Simley. Let's see if I was right. Right there, Scott Simley gets turned. Stoney Benfield. What a save.
What a save.
Wow.
I couldn't figure out who it was because he drove out of it. Yeah, how about that? He's going to have a nice cold Heineken after that one.
Hey, in all seriousness, though, I know it's been 17 cautions tonight, but hey, we appreciate the viewers. I know we've tried to keep it fun and stuff with what's all happened tonight, and hopefully you come back and join us next week from Martinsville. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, please. I'm trying to get to 1,000. I might get there by the time, I don't know, 2025, 2026 maybe, at this rate.
Call your aunt, call your uncle, call your cousins. Let's go. Get them subscribed. Let's go. Come on.
And a big shout out to 811. And as I mentioned, I know there's been plenty of storms everywhere. And that kind of thing is a little PSA here for 811. Call before you dig. If you got any kind of projects you're working on, Derek Myers is scraping the outside wall for some reason. Is he practicing for a Chastain? I don't know what that's all about. But anyways, call before you dig. Obviously, if you got any kind of digging projects and stuff, if you see any wires on the ground, stay away. You never know if they're live, especially if your area gets hit by a storm. I saw today Palm Beach County, Florida was under a tornado warning, which is 3 counties south of where I'm from.
My twin told me yesterday or Saturday while driving to Hamlin Speedway, looked out the left side window, right side window. I can never figure out which one is right. Saw a tornado as he was going through the Delaware Water Gap area. So yeah, you never know where it's going to be.
You said it was over water?
No, it was over land, but he was going through the Delaware Water Gap.
Got it. Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Look how tight they are. I'll tell you offline here.
This is going to kind of tell me that Bentley's going early. Backing off the pace car here, going to try to get a launch here maybe. He went late on the last restart, which proved me wrong. So if I'm Derek, I'm going as soon as this pace car leaves. Take the risk here. What do you got to lose? And Bentley's waiting. He proved me wrong again. Good restart for the 21.
3 wide. Fuller to the bottom.
And this is going to all... Whoa! Myers, he got clipped, but saved it.
Myers just drove sure will out of that.
White flag, we're going to finish under green.
How about that? Myers drove it in so hard he pinballed it off the wall, and he still got it. Here comes the 13 underneath.
Myers up into the wall again, but not enough. Bentley Glazier wins back-to-back here at Bristol, this time on the concrete.
What a finish.
Myers second. Fuller, with the interview, finishes third. Comstock finishes fourth, and Richard Beasley gets a top 5. Look at 8th. Doug Roth.
Really thought maybe Justin Mons was in the catbird seat there, but he got stalled out there against the outside wall and held up, and he just kind of muscled his way through to get to a finish, and he finished 6th, dropping a couple spots.
And for Bentley Glazier, he now becomes the 7th winner in 8 races in this series. So obviously showing the parity in this series.
What a performance for him. Boy, he's going to be happy to come back to this racetrack again because he had everybody covered.
Obviously doing some burnouts, celebrating. And, man, what a race, what a finish as we survive Bristol tonight. And go from there, man. That was, I don't know. I'm speechless, I guess so to say, after all that. But we're going to put
We've got to remember here, Chris, is that this racetrack is in the chase later this year, right? They're going to come back here sometime in October. And you got to circle the calendar for Bentley Glazier because he was so fast, I can't imagine an automatic favorite coming in during the championship run. And that's the kind of thing that pushes you through to another round. So
I agree 100%.
They're going to have to do their homework to figure out what he had going on because he had everybody covered. We thought there when he changed tires that going back into the pack might have put him in the danger zone, but that looked easy peasy for him. He just drove around everybody to the front and stayed out front and never relinquished.
As we take a look at the final results up there at the top of the screen, we'll talk to our top 3 and maybe a few more drivers. I think the post-race party is going to be interesting. But let's talk to our third place finisher here. I just spoke with him a few minutes ago. And back in the booth, I bring him again. Justin Fuller finishes in the 3rd position. And here's where the fun part comes, is where I explain to Justin, as Justin, congratulations on your top 3 finish here tonight. So a 1st and a 3rd, not bad for a weekend here at Bristol. But the reason why I kind of brought you up to the booth is, 1, I wanted to talk to somebody who was in the car to see what was going on. But 2, everybody thought that when I interview people, I throw a jinx on them that they would not win or they would not compete for the win. And yet, after we talked, you gained 2 positions and finished 3rd.
Yeah, I mean, that's just lucky on restarts, I guess. I don't know. I just... If we ever could have got a long run, I feel like I could have won the race. I think Pedro was a little better than me on the long run, but I was definitely better than Derek and Bentley, I felt like, especially that first long run we had. But we never could get another one because everybody just kept driving over their heads and stepping on their you-know-what. So,
Right.
I don't understand it. I don't drive this car. You have to go all the way back to last year season finale of the Cup Series, where I ran another part-time schedule. Last time I drove this car, I have not driven this car since Phoenix last season until tonight. So I feel like this car was a lot easier to drive tonight than it has been in the past. Maybe I like it a little bit more, but tonight kind of turned me off from it because just a lot of yellows, and I don't know why, because the track wasn't too slick. It was just people getting in the throttle too hard, driving over their heads, and not having any patience.
And it was unfortunate to see that kind of thing, but I mean, you did get some green flag racing in, and the end of that race, obviously, you and Mons had a great, clean, fantastic battle. And then, of course, that restart, you guys were 3 wide there. You made a great move to the bottom. Talk about those couple of series real quick.
I don't know if Derek missed a shift or what, but he just kind of checked up there on the restart real quick. Maybe he didn't. I don't know. Maybe I just got a good launch, but I knew if I checked up and stayed behind him that I was gonna end up getting freight train on the outside. So I'm like, well, let me see if I can make something happen down here, and it almost worked. But at least we made it through there clean and nobody wrecked. So I mean, that's all it was. Yeah, that was the only way I was gonna make a pass, is to make a move like that.
Well, obviously, it was fun to watch you race tonight. You showed you had a top 5 car, and unfortunately, the events happened throughout the race here, but still, congratulations on a top 3, and send some shouts whoever you like to.
Yeah, it was nice to come in here, have a nice clean race, clean car. Wish we could have done a couple spots better, but it is what it is. Thanks to Joey Katina, Sim500, and all the admins here for what they do. I know this was not a good show tonight. I know Joey's not happy about it. But thanks for him for letting me run this car tonight. Thanks to NCA11 also for letting me run it, and for sponsoring the league. They sponsor a lot of the league now, so thanks to you guys for putting on the broadcast. It was nice to get Ed Burrell's car out here. We're gonna run it some more this year. I probably won't run full time to the end of the season, but we'll pick and choose some races when we got an open Monday night and come out and run. I think next week's Martinsville, so we'll probably run that. Unless something changes, I'll probably still run next week, depending on what the track is, I guess. But yeah, we'll see what happens, and just keep running some clean races and have a good time.
Absolutely.
And, see what we can do.
Well, I'm sure Ed would be proud of you, seeing that car out there on the track and stuff. I'm sure he's smiling from above, watching, and appreciate what you do, man. And best of luck, and we'll talk next week, buddy.
Thanks, Steve.
All right, you too. Justin Fuller finishing in the 3rd position. Obviously, you can hear the disappointment in his voice. Totally understandable. And I'm sure a lot of guys are going to be disappointed with what they saw tonight. But, hey, in the end, it's Bristol. I mean, what else can we say to that? Kevin, let's let you talk to our 2nd place finisher, Mr. Derek Myers, who gets a runner-up finish for a 2nd straight night.
Yeah, Derek, outstanding run here tonight. You definitely were elbows up, especially on that last restart. Tell us a little bit about your race tonight.
Well, this is my first Cup race of the season. One reason I even came out tonight was because I just love Bristol so much, and we got the pole. I haven't had a pole in a long time and never had one in the Cup car, but it was short-lived. We lost the lead in turn 1 and 2. I just need to work on my restarts, but Bentley dominated the whole race. Congratulations to him. I wish we could have went green there with those last 20 laps. I was trying my rear end off to get to him, and he had never slipped a wheel. He drove a great race all night. I was sweating. We had to hold off those 2 overtime restarts. We were 3 wide going into turn 1 and 2 on that last one, and thankfully we didn't get wrecked out of a good finish. I'm proud of the 2nd place tonight.
Yeah, saw that wiggle coming up off the corner, and even saw you bounce the car off the wall, just trying to carry the speed as much as possible. I'm guessing that those last laps, if you replayed them, there's not much more you could have done to get yourself up there with Bentley.
Yeah, I was kind of taking a move out of Pedro's book back at Rockingham, and whatever car it was I won in, he tried to bounce off the wall and get a good run. I wasn't close enough to really make anything work, but I was like, well, we can damage the car now. Let's see what we got. And we got a little run, but nothing to get alongside of him or even give ourselves a shot. He was just, he's too good tonight to get there, and he never made any mistakes. So congratulations to him.
Tell us a little something about the tire wear, lane choice, long runs. Were the tires as important as they looked, and top bottom coming off the corner? It certainly looked like a lot of drivers struggled with drive off.
Yeah, you don't want to slam that gas pedal in these cars at Bristol tonight off the corner. You will spin it out, and I'm sure that's what happened for a lot of those cautions, people getting on the gas too hard. Yeah, I would rather restart on the outside line every time if I had the choice. But if you're gonna start down there on that bottom, you need to attack, or else you're gonna go back because it's not the preferred groove. Thankfully, I learned a few things during the race, restarting on the bottom with my gearing and just how hard I can push it to where I never made a mistake like that to cause a wreck. I was right on the edge, but I made the bottom work for the most part.
Yeah, an outstanding run to show up here cold, run one of the arguably toughest racetracks in the circuit, and come away with the second place finish. That's not a bad night's work. Who do you want to say hello to, Derek, while you have the mic?
I'd like to shout out to my Smoke Show Racing teammates. Hopefully I made them proud tonight. I'd like to say thank you to everyone at Sim500 and Joey Katina for putting on the races through the weeks. And it was a lot of fun to race in the Cup Series tonight. So thanks to Joey for letting me be out here. And thank you, Kevin and Chris, with everyone at Captain Esports for putting on the broadcast tonight. You guys do a great job.
There you go, second place finish. So close to getting a win here in first show tonight. Congratulations, Derek. Go enjoy that one. And we'll turn it back to Chris. He's going to come in with our winner.
Absolutely, as Bentley Glazier goes to victory lane here this evening. And obviously becoming the 7th winner in 8 races. Bentley, congratulations, man. You, much like Justin last night, become the first driver in 6 seasons to win multiple Bristol races at in one specific race, as in the spring race.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I remember last time it was dirt, so I'm glad it was asphalt this time.
What, I mean, how much was it track position? How much was it the yellows helping? How much was it just the fast car? What percentage there was the domination tonight for you?
Track position, mainly. Just being there where I can control the restarts. And yeah, I don't know. I wish we had more green flag laps, but I was really fast on the long run, except for after the first pit stop, the auto fuel thing they added on iRacing got me, and I was really tight. So Justin almost got past me, and then just if Derek, Justin or Pedro got past me, it was over. So I had a lot of time to think how I was going to screw it up during those cautions.
Well, you obviously did a great job, man. How's it feel to get back here to victory lane, being the 7th winner in 8 races?
Amazing. My goal was to win one of these. I did one last year, and I just want to win another. So we checked that off. So hopefully, we just have fun the rest of the season.
Well, great job tonight, man. Congratulations, and welcome to victory lane back here at Bristol, this time on the concrete. As you win that one, how nervous were you on the restarts?
The last 2 restarts, really nervous. There was a time where you could restart in first gear, and then there was a time when you'd start getting wheel spin. We were right on the edge. So the last 2 restarts I was in second, and I did good. So yeah.
Well, great job tonight, man. Give some shouts whoever you like to.
Thank to all my teammates at OGR. Thank everybody at Sim500. Everybody's a great driver here, and thank you guys for broadcasting.
Absolutely, my man. Congratulations. Welcome to victory lane in 2023. Bentley Glazier, go celebrate your win, my man.
All right, thank you.
All right, buddy. Bentley Glazier wins tonight here at the Virtual Bristol Motor Speedway. And I'm looking down in team name. I think the whole entire field's in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, about half to fill out. 25 people in that one chat right now. Probably talking and I want to say laughing maybe, but we'll see. But hey, in all seriousness, obviously tonight was tough, but that's how racing goes. I've said it 100 times before. You're going to have races that are going to have cautions. You're going to have races that are going to go green. It's the way it goes in life. But great job to Kevin. Obviously, appreciate your time. All the viewers tonight. We hit 32, I think, at one point, which is so cool. Thank you guys for spending some time with us this evening. And look forward to seeing you guys maybe next Monday. And a reminder, Sunday nights, we're also on with Sim500. You can come join us at Texas next Sunday night, Martinsville next Monday night. But Kevin, before we take off, man, final thoughts here from the last great Coliseum.
Yeah, just a typical Bristol race, right? Everybody trying to scrap and get whatever they could. And yeah, there was a little beating and banging. A hard racetrack tonight, looked like, for these guys. They had their hands full, but in the end, we saw a great finish. We saw a great contest. Congrats to Bentley Glazer, man. It definitely a showcase run for his season tonight.
He did a great job tonight, and well-deserved win, well-deserved second for Myers, Fuller, and Comstock and Beasley getting the top 5 this evening. So thanks to 811 for sponsoring the series. Of course, you can get a hold of them anytime you have issues in the United States. You just look up your states, 811. You can get a hold of them, and if you have questions or whatnot, but make sure you show your support for that company. Also, big shout out to Sim500. You can check out their website, sim500.com. I know Wednesday nights they do a brand new Gen 4 series that's been going for a little bit, and so much more. They got Dirt. I know Goat's got a couple series that they run with the Sim500 guys. I know Saturday night's a Cup Series, and then there's so many things going on. Go to their website, sim500.com, and get the information there. But Kevin, appreciate it, man. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, man. Looking forward to Martinsville.
Absolutely. Let's get some hot dogs and go enjoy some racing at Martinsville. This isn't just a game. It's Bristol, baby.
Searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless. A sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it. And I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory. Yeah, don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring. I just want a life that is worth every day exploring.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, 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 yeah.
This is a statement to appreciate all that is vacant. It's just for the taking. If you make up your mind, you can take it. I'm never complacent. I would work in a mansion or basement. Yeah, there's no replacement for persistence. It's a patience. Yeah, in this life, I wanna be soaring to feel sun inside when it's pouring, and I'll fight till anxiety is foreign. I'm so sick of my mind's extortion.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah.